guys, welcome back to another week here at Side Hustles by Seoenz. My name is Juan Carlos Enriquez.
And I'm Heidi and together we are Seoenz. And before my
Today,
husband continues, I want to say that, we're really excited to be here. It's been a while since we've been out and actually shown our faces. So we're really happy to be here another week talking to you guys about, all things side hustles. So anyways,
yes,
proceed.
yes, and one of the things is that we're conducting this in two time zones and two places here in also conducting the operations while my wife is actually
And daughter,
working.
wife and daughter.
Yes, both. They are working in Playa del Carmen. Well, they recently are looking for a new place over there, yeah, and they're doing the design. So they're working, but still in a great location. Okay, so the topic for today it's we wanted to share with you um, how we manage our Airbnbs, and we advise you to treat your Airbnb as a business. And there are many ways to manage a business and have it structured. So we're going to share with you today what has worked for us. So there are three basic pillars in our business, and that's marketing, operations, and finances. For the first one, marketing. Understanding your customer and what they want will keep revenue coming into your bank account. So Heidi, can you let us know what is the profile of our Airbnb guest?
So for us, after the pandemic started, our COVID or Airbnb profile guests became a lot of solo travelers, traveling professionals, traveling nurses that are coming to El Paso definitely to stay for a longer time than a typical weekend. They're probably staying between, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, up to 13 weeks, which would be like 3 months. So it's definitely been a quite a change between short-term rental, which is just a quick weekend, to now making it a midterm. But our Airbnb considers that already a long term. But in reality, it's more of a midterm stay where they staying for a longer period of time than your typical weekender. But it's not gonna be like a year. A year for me, it's a whole lease agreement. But less than a year, it's more of a midterm stay. So that became our new profile.
Okay. And for this profile, how long do they stay? Is it different than like a short-term rental?
I just said
Yeah.
that.
Okay. And
So yeah, it's very different because now they're staying for longer periods of time, which is 13 weeks approximately, traveling nurses, than your typical weekender, which is just 2 days stay. So it is very different than before. But that has become our new normal, and it's good. It's good to having like the same person staying for a while. And sometimes what's also happened is that they've come back. So when they send them again to El Paso, they're looking for us specifically so that they can book with us and they don't have to be looking elsewhere. They want to stay with us again because they already know that they're going to have a great stay with us.
okay. And understanding our customer is really important so we can deliver the product they're looking for and the experience for Airbnb that they're wishing for. So, and this is one of the things that I want to ask you. The next question is, why are our Airbnb's listings always booked? What makes it
Because I
different so
mean,
you can say?
I make the difference. I'm just kidding. No, well, yes and no. I definitely would say the main reason that I'm well, that we're pretty much fully booked on all of our properties. It's, I would say, one, the communication. I'm really quick to respond. So as soon as someone comes in and asks for a request or has a quick question before booking, I'm always really quick to answer it before they move on into another listing. So if I answer within like the minute that they just send this question and I answered quickly, they didn't move forward and kept looking for another place to stay because I had already answered their question, and then they just go on and book. Another thing that I would say it's very different from, it's obviously our reviews. We have almost like 400 reviews on Airbnb. They all back us up, explaining each time that it's a great stay, that they loved staying here. It's private, it's cozy. Depending on the place, the decor, they really love what we did with the place. They love our forget basket, which is that if you forgot the essentials, if you forgot maybe your toothbrush, your deodorant, or your toothpaste, then you're able to get that. So we always provide that sort of basket for them during that time. I would say that's one of the reasons why we're always, I would say, overbooked, because most of the time people are always looking for us to, hey, can I stay there, and I don't have anything. And my weekends for sure are always taken. It's very rare that I'll have something open. So that's a great thing to do. And obviously the other reason I would say, it's, our pictures. We try to definitely take great pictures, show everything that's offered, but also a great description within our listing. If for any reason, maybe you're out of Wi-Fi, or maybe your internet is slow, but the pictures are not loading, you can trust that whatever you're reading in my description listing is exactly what you're going to encounter as soon as you enter the space.
Okay. And I know that you do a lot of advertising, but most of the how do you get the greatest conversions? So for you, what would you say? Okay, so this is where I get the most customers from.
Up until now, it continues to be the SEO of Airbnb. And they have great SEO. I mean, I've been, surfing the web, and I've encountered, like, it's come up like my own spaces, my own spaces. I see it not only on, like, I don't have to be on a computer to see my spaces. Like, sometimes I'm going through just my phone, and like I'm researching something else, and then I see an ad and it's my space, like literally my apartment being featured, but
No
I
pun
don't
intended.
pay for any of that. It's it's just the fact that the SEO of Airbnb, it's really good. Not that you have to depend on it. We do have our blog, we do have our websites, which is seoenz.com, where you guys can find all of our properties, everything that we do. So we do have it out there. We do have our own website. We do have, blog that we have, but the SEO from Airbnb continues to top our return market. And I've heard a lot of people say, hey, why don't you do direct bookings? And the only reason I don't do direct bookings is because I prefer to have Airbnb take care of stuff for me. If I have to pay the service fee and they're doing the customer service on their end, if they're doing the payment processes, then I prefer to do that than to have me take care of all the payment confirmation, all the payment. It's just a lot more work on my end, and I prefer to do that just to keep it simple. Since we have so many things going on at once all the time, if I can rely this on someone else, then it's better for me. But obviously, it depends on each person. So I would say definitely the SEO, and also our Instagram. I mean, our Instagram has been gaining followers left and right. It's been really great. We started a different Instagram earlier this year, and we have hundreds of followers already. People actually from El Paso than before. Before we didn't used to get much local people, but now because of the pandemic, if either you come to work or not, but I have a lot of people reach out that are from El Paso and they're looking for a place, or they just want to stay a weekend, or they're doing a staycation at one of our newest Airbnbs, the European Cottage. it's a great stay, and people are loving it. It's already fully booked for all of October, and I think it's just crazy how they're able to just want to stay there just for a for a quick time, because they see how beautiful it is, so they want to feel that comfort. They want to see how they can stay there for even if it's just a little while, if even if it's just for a weekend. They definitely feel that it's cozy, that it's inviting enough for it to happen. So I'm really excited about that. Um, Seeing how our Instagram page has brought in definitely a different market than we're expecting, because we're expecting professionals, travelers, but through Instagram we're getting more of a local crowd. And I understand also some people say, hey, stay away from locals, they're messy, they're rowdy, they do damages. But you guys definitely would have to be in El Paso in order to understand that El Paso, it's just a very great city. I've never had people, damage my space, trash my place that are locals. Like, I don't fear for local people to stay in my Airbnbs.
That's great. And okay, so moving on into the second pillar, it's operations. Management of your team and execution of systems will deliver the consistent desired Airbnb experience. And I believe that operations is one of the, I mean, like anything, is a great way for you to maintain that. Because I mean, you capture through marketing, and you maintain your profits through operations. So Heidi, what systems do you utilize to keep your team delivering the great experience you have always given?
I would say, well, obviously our systems that we have our cleaning staff do all the time, our checklists, our essential checklists that we also make sure that everything's there. Um, the forget basket as well. I mean, that's something very different. Even before, I would always leave toothbrush and toothpaste, makeup removal wipes. I would do like some stuff, but after, watching the girls from Thanks for Visiting, they actually made this more of a forget basket essential checklist, so that each and every time we make sure that we're providing this for our guests. So now I provide more than just toothpaste and toothbrush. In my basket, you will find tampons, pads, deodorant, a sewing kit, a painkillers. There's so many things that you'll find there. Even USB iPhone chargers or Android chargers. I mean, I provide chargers just in case that you forgot your own at home, because we all live on our phone now. We're all in our phone all the time, and it will be a bummer to just realize once you're here that, hey, I forgot my phone. I have to go and buy a new iPhone charger or a new Android charger, even if it's not going to be that expensive. But if I can save you that trip to the drugstore, if I can save you that trip at the middle of the night once you're arriving and you just want to sleep, then that's my pleasure. Like, that's why we do this. That's why we are in the hospitality business. We're definitely not in the hospitality business to put heads in beds, not to make the most money out of each apartment, not to put in all the people that I could possibly can fit in there. We're trying to offer the hospitality of, hey, you're comfortable here, you're
To,
you're here
to
to
create value,
stay
right?
for a while. Exactly. I would say definitely that's it.
Okay, so and that's great. And then for management, I know that I mean from businesses that we have two groups. So one that keeps Airbnb and one that does the renovation, the building. So how to turn around from managing one aspect of the business to managing the other one, because I mean they're different. They respond to different ways of explaining things. So how do you turn around from managing? Because I mean it's really essential managing people. So how do you do that?
I still don't know. um Yeah, it definitely is a different aspect of everything. Mm, I just I always when I'm remodeling, I'm not looking at I would say when I'm remodeling, when my husband and our team are remodeling, I never take off the I'm the guest hat. So I'm always looking at hey, if I were to stay here, is this practical? Would this annoy me? Would this be okay? Would I love this? Would I love this kitchen? Would I feel comfortable in this bed? Is this enough? Would I mind that this is here? I never take off that hat. And regardless if I consider myself an engineer and as an engineer I learned to be a project manager. So even though my life has taken me in a different path, I continue to to do everything I learned for my systems engineering masters. Like I apply this in my work now. So I'm the property manager. I'm sorry, I'm the project manager. I'm the project manager now. And I have all these people that I have to tell them, hey, do this, do this. I want this to be done. I want this to look this way. And obviously I wear many hats, right? I just don't I'm not just the manager now, I'm also the interior designer now, I'm also the decorator now, I'm also, the inspection. It's just so many things that I just wear too many hats all at once, but I try to make sure that I never remove the I'm the guest hat. So if I were to be staying there, I'm always looking at through those eyes because I'm a very picky person. Like I understand that I'm very unique, I'm very particular, and maybe for my husband, he doesn't care if this is that way, but I care. So maybe my guests won't care either. But I don't want to have a guest like myself and that they find that annoying. I'm trying to cater to myself. And by catering to myself, I set a higher standard. Then I'm not trying to make everyone happy. I'm just trying to make me happy. And if I'm happy, I can probably tell 90% of the other people will be happy too.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I wanted to get out of you is that to set that high standard. I mean, if you already have that eye, that keen eye to observe detail, to whether you're gonna say, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and then that I guess those skills come through experience. I mean, once you know that, oh, there's uh, there's a flaw, there's a flaw on this wall, this or the oh, there's two different whites, and you can observe that it's through experience. I mean, once I can say for myself, I couldn't detect those imperfections when I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because I didn't have that eye. But today, I'm working on it. I'm not perfect like my wife, right? But I'm working on it. I can detect some of the flaws, but that's through experience, and I believe that's a great point. And I think we don't even have to go into the second question, which is how do you assess quality? Because I mean, the quality is already if you inspect with that eye on I mean, on details, so it's already there. The quality, just the consistency. How can, and then you have those papers like your maintenance or your cleaning, your essentials. All those lists keep that consistency. You have that quality, and then your employees do that. They perform those tasks, so you have that operations going on, that will that keeps on giving you that that revenue, right? So
Yeah, definitely with the quality thing, it's because we're more than past that detail. We're more past of hey, do you have the team? And if you're doing this yourself, then do you care enough? Do you care enough that the towels are folded the same way each time? Do you care enough that this is how it has to be? It has to look exactly like the picture. it all comes down to that. Like, it's not more of like, hey, do you have that key for detail? Do you have that eye? Can you check everything? And like, like you guys tell me that I have X-ray vision. It's more than that. It's, do you care? Because I care. And because I care that my guests and everyone has a great experience and that I receive the highest rating review, because I care for that, it's the reason why I do everything else. Because I really do care that everything's perfect, even if it's not. But that, for me, for my standard, for my way of seeing things, it's the best that it could possibly be.
And you continue to improve. And this goes into the next question, which is, how do you continue to innovate and experiment in your Airbnbs to improve that experience?
Design, just the design aspect, obviously always looking what's trending. And but for me, it's always practicality. Yeah, this could be all beautiful, but is it practical? Is it really, or is it going to give me a headache? Is it, if I were to stay here, would I mind that, oh my God, I can't believe they did this? Like, this shouldn't go there. Or this is, I'm bumping into this, all of that, all of those little details. So for me, I'm always innovating in a way that I want to make sure that it looks different, that it also lasts longer time, that I don't have to be going in there and doing more maintenance or changing the paint color, every so on. I try to make sure that, what we're doing, it's gonna have a long life, and obviously not forever, but a longer life, and that it's practical. Obviously it has to be practical, but at the same time beautiful. So on our most recent design, the design was everything, and people keep asking me, hey, how come now it looks like it's bigger? I didn't add any square footage. All I did was that, we opened we made a hole in a wall, pretty much, right? So we made a hole in a wall, and that's how you see now through the kitchen. So as soon as you open that door, your eye goes directly into the kitchen, onto that last wall, and it makes it feel like it's a much bigger space. I didn't add any square footage. All I did was open up a wall. So I didn't remove the wall entirely. I just opened it up in a way that it was practical. It was practical for the bar area to be there, for the dining, for the dining area to go there. Everything, it's all about making it beautiful, but making it practical at the same time.
Okay, so the next pillar is finances. Generate positive cash flow and understanding the basic principle of increasing income and the reducing expenses. So this is a question that we get always asked, and I hope that you don't mind answering again. But how much is it required to get an Airbnb up and running?
Well, like I always say, it all depends on how many rooms, how many bathrooms, how many square footage. Is it yours? Is it your property? Are you renting? Are you leasing? Is it arbitrage? There's so many ways to do Airbnb. Not only that, is it an RV? Is it a tent? Is it a glamping? There's so many out there, like, that you can do become Airbnb. But if we go back into just, again, I would say, we're not secretive people about, hey, how much does it cost, this or that. But to make this most recent design, the studio that we just finished, you guys can see it at EPTX Airbnb. That's our Instagram page. You can see a lot of reels about it. But the before and after about that design, from going from how it looked, which was very dark and outdated, to now how it's a European cottage, beautiful and inviting. It took us about around $6,000 just on material. It was around $10,000 of labor and $3,000 of decor, essentials like the bedding. We manage a certain bedding for all of our Airbnbs. So when someone asks to be part of our brand, we those are non-negotiables. Those are, hey, you're gonna be part of our brand, but you're gonna also have to get this bedding, have to get this keypad lock. So there's different things, but so going into that, that's approximately, it was like around $3,000 to go in. So you're looking around spending $20,000 into a one studio apartment, and for some people it might be a lot. For some people it might be, oh, that's awesome, that's a great deal. For us, we believe that's a good average, especially looking at it how it turned out, because it's just amazing how it is now, when you compare it to the before, and how much time, it took us 6 weeks to renovate that studio. So also taking that into consideration, it didn't really take, that much time to renovate it, but it looks amazing. So that's just an idea for anyone out there looking. You really had to see the before and after, obviously, because not every property is going to be the same. This property, we really had to take it down to the bones, and start from there. So it was removing all of the wall, and then adding, literally we had to add new 2x4s, new sheetrock, new everything. So again, this is a property that needed a lot of work, a lot of electrical work as well. And that's completely different that if you have, a new property, and it doesn't need any of that. So it all depends. We always go back to that same answer, where it all depends what property you have, because if it's not a fixer upper, if it's just, hey, let's do decor, furnishing, staging, then it's not going to cost you the same.
Yeah, and what I wanted to add is that you can list your Airbnb, and if it's ugly, but the thing is that is not gonna rent. I mean, if you have flooring that is gonna be peeling off, or you have dirty rugs, I mean, you still can have a greatest picture. I mean, at the end, um, you're gonna get burned through reviews, because they're gonna say, okay, this is not like the pictures. And there's a few things that you have to notice once you go into Airbnb, is that the the best and the prettiest Airbnbs are the ones that get usually booked again and again, and those are the best, I guess, cash cows, because they're continue to get money in. The At the beginning is a bigger investment, but at the long term, like any business, it's gonna recover their investment and is going to produce income. And this goes into the next question. When and this is pretty much, we know the answer, but is, in your experience, how much time do you require, or do you have you seen for a break even point?
Approximately, it takes you like a year. Obviously, depending on how much you invested into the property, how many rooms, how many, and how big it was. But for usually like a one bedroom, one bath, and the state of that it was, it would take you approximately just a year to break even. I mean, you're just gonna recuperate your investment, and then after that, you might start making some profit. Now, what kind of business gives you back what you invested in a year? Well, it's very rare. It's very rare to have a business to give you back that money. But another thing is that it's not just about how beautiful it is. If you don't have good customer service, if you're not good at offering that hospitality feel, then it's not going to be always the same. Because if you're not, even if it's beautiful, but if you're not answering, if you are, not doing your part, as a great host, then it will vary, because people won't want to stay with you if they're reading bad reviews about you and saying stuff about, no, this person, he doesn't care about being a host. That's what I mean. Like, you really have to care in this business. Hospitality, it really means it. You're trying to make someone feel welcome and that they're happy where they're staying. So it's very different. It's very different than to other businesses that just have customer service. So, but yeah, approximately, I would say, I give it a year to break even.
Okay, great. And then that's all we have for today. Is
Well, so I don't know what happened. I don't know if I'm still on the live, but I think I am. But yeah, that was all for today. Um, you
yes.
know, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Side Hustles by Seoenz. And we're very happy to announce that, Made by Seoenz, it's a growing brand. We right now we are at 30 properties here between El Paso, Playa del Carmen, North Carolina, and Dallas, Texas. So we're really happy, to work with any of you. Reach out to us. My email is heidy@seoenz.com. That's Heidi at soenz.com. And if you guys want to find us on Instagram, follow us at Made by Seoenz, and also at EPTX Airbnb. You'll find all our Airbnbs that we work with, including those in North Carolina, Playa del Carmen, Dallas. We work with all of them, so make sure to find us and follow us, and stay tuned, because there's so many other great things coming around the corner. We've been talking with other people. We've been collaborating with amazing brands, local vendors in El Paso, that are collaborating with us because they see our growth, and we're really happy to be given this opportunity. So, again, if you guys have any other questions, and if you want to start your Airbnb side hustle business, let us know. Let us know. We also have on our website, seoenz.com. We did a workshop recently, and you guys can, check it out there. I believe you can still buy it, the live portion, and you will receive the video from that workshop. So, but obviously, reach out and let us know if you guys have any other questions.
All
So,
right.
I think this was it for this week. And
Yes.
again,
Thank you very much.
this was Side Hustles by Soen. See you next week.